Hello, hi my friends. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I like to read stories, specifically right now children's stories. So it's kind of like story time. So if there's anything you want to hear read, drop a comment or give a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to hear more. So today we're reading, it wasn't a childhood favorite of mine, but I found it when my daughters were young and they loved it. And it's a great fun book. It's A House is a House for Me by Mary Ann Hoberman. So another thing that sold me on it was, of course, the artwork. I'm always big on artwork for houses and or for books. I mean, and as you can see, and it has Hailee, my daughter's name, written in it. So that was her book, and she was making sure everyone knew it. So here we go. Thank you for joining me, Lenny. All right. A hill is a house for an ant. A hive is a house for a bee. A mole is a house for a mole or a mouse. And look at all of those different houses. Lenny lives in my house. And a house is a house for me. A web is a house for a spider. A bird builds its nest in a tree. There is nothing so snug as a bug in a rug, and a house is a house for me. Look at that. They have a tree house, and then they took an old appliance box and made it into a fun little house. I've done that before. Made it into a little house. It's a great playhouse. And then you've got the other houses. A coop, that's a house for a chicken. A sty, that's a house for a sow. A fold, that's where sheep all gather to sleep. And a barn, that's a house for a cow. It's also, of course, a house for a horse. Look at all those different houses. Different places to live. A kennel is a house for a dog. A dog is a house for a flea. But when a dog strays, a flea sometimes stays, and then it might move in on me. Look at that. Yeah, I've got help here while I'm trying to read to you. He just wants attention, don't you? Houses for rabbits are hutches, and a house for a mule is a shed. A castle's a house for a duchess, and a bed bug beds down in a bed. That's almost a tongue twister. See all those different places that you can have a home? Mosquitoes like mudholes or puddles, and wells needed an ocean or sea. A fish or a snake make do with a lake, but a house is a house for me. I like her little house under the umbrella. A shell is a dwelling for shellfish, for oysters, lobsters, and clams. And each snail has a shell, and each turtle as well, but not any lions or lambs. Lions live out in the open. Monkeys live up in a tree. Hippos live down in the river. Now what do you know about me? Goodness, look at all those animals and places they can live. An igloo is a house for an Eskimo. A teepee is a house for a Cree. A pueblo is a house for a Hopi, and a wigwam may hold a Mohi. A garage is a house for a car or a truck. A hangar is a house for a plane. A dock or a slip is a house for a ship, and a terminal's a house for a train. Look at all those houses. Pretty cool. A husk is a house for a corn ear, and a pod is a place for a pea. A nutshell's a hut for a hickory nut, but what is a shelter for me? Look, they're hiding under the table. I used to do that too. So did my daughters. Put a blanket over the table and make it into a makeshift little tent. A glove is a house for a hand. A stocking's a house for a knee. A shoe or a boot is a house for a foot. And a house is a house for me. Oh, and then look down here. We got some little animals in their little houses under the ground. Look at that. A box is a house for a tea bag. A teapot's a house for some tea. If you pour me a cup and I drink it all up, the tea house turns into me. Look, it's like Alice in Wonderland having a tea party. Never thought about that before. You drink the tea, you become the pot. Cartons are houses for crackers, and castles are houses for kings. The more I think about houses, the more things are houses for things. That's true if you start thinking about all the different things that are houses for other things. Can be interesting. If you get started in thinking, and I think you find it true, the more that you think about houses for things, the more things are houses to you. So yeah, look at all the different things that are houses here. Got a kangaroo pouch for Joey, and a cage for a hamster. A pumpkin is a house for a jack-o'-lantern. Look at all those different ones. Barrels are houses for pickles, and bottles are houses for jam. A pot is a spot for potatoes, and a sandwich is for a home for some ham. The cookie jar is home to the cookies, and the bread box is home to the bread. My coat is a house for my body, and my hat is a house for my head. Look at all those places that are houses. Perhaps I've started far-fetching. Perhaps I'm stretching things some. A mirror is a house for a reflection, and a throat is a house for a hum. But once you start in thinking, you think, and you think, and you think, how pockets are houses for pennies, and pens can be houses for some ink. Look at all those different silly clowns, different houses. How peaches are houses for peach pits, and sometimes are houses for worms. How trash cans are houses for garbage, and garbage makes houses for germs. Well, there's a lot of garbage there, that's for sure. A lot of different places that are houses. And envelopes, earmuffs, and eggshells, and bathrooms, and baskets, and bins, and rag bags, and roasters, and rubbers, and roasters, and tablecloths, toasters, and tins. Goodness. Does it make you think about other things that can be houses for you? So once you get started in thinking this way, it seems that whatever you see is either a house or lives in a house, and a house is a house for me. Oh, yep, we used to do that too. We had a clothesline, and my mama would pin up blankets just like this to make a tent, and a blanket in the middle, and I'd spend so much time out there. So that's an idea. If you've got a clothesline, you can make yourself a tent. A book is a house for a story. A rose is a house for a smell. My head is a house for a secret I'll never tell. Look at that. She's sharing a secret. Yeah. A flower's at home in a garden, and a donkey's at home in a stall. Yep, right there's the donkey. And there's the garden. Beautiful garden. A donkey's at home in a stall. Each creature that's known has a house of its own, and the earth is a house for us all. There we go. Maybe you can think of some houses that are houses for things. Like this dress is a house for my body, and maybe my lap is a house right now for Lenny, or this chair is a house for my bottom because I'm sitting here sharing with you. So it does make you think about all the different things that are houses for things. So maybe go out today and think about it yourself. What do you see that are houses for things? I hope you have a good day, and you'll come back and join me soon for more stories. Thank you. Lenny, you silly kitty.